What's up, everyone? It's Roger and Abe here from DisKingdom.com with episode number 86 of the Infinity and Beyond podcast presented by Mac and Cheese. And in this episode, we are going to be discussing Finding Dory leak. We're going to be discussing the Alice in Wonderland leak. We're going to be discussing PC update, the new Kylo Ren leak. We're basically, Abe, do you have a good number for a plumber over there?
Good number? Yeah, I should have quite a few good numbers, actually.
Yeah, you might want to pass it on to Infinity while you're out there. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it?
Absolutely, it's been a really crazy week.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a very odd week this week with lots of news coming out. It was almost like there was a Disney Infinity Next event this week. It feels a bit like 4.0 season at the minute. It actually is kind of quite weird.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I don't know, it feels weird. It almost feels maybe like intentional, but I don't know. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, so we've got quite a few bits and pieces to go through. So first off, I think we're going to hit the big news straight off the bat. Finding Dory playset has been kind of revealed in probably the most... it always reminds me of the Subway reveal of Guardians of the Galaxy, where mac and cheese, basically there's a box of mac and cheese on the shelf in retailers, nothing more than that. And basically on the box, it literally says, and here we go, dive under the sea with the Dory in the new Finding Dory playset for Disney Infinity 3.0. Discover more at disney.com/infinity. You won't find any information there. And we got a good look at the Dory figure, which is, you can see there, it's got some coral reef underneath of her. And yeah, this was kind of like, I think everyone was like, nah, this can't be it. Yep, so mac and cheese is our go-to source this year.
Well, at first, I mean, the image that was first revealed was a little bit more zoomed in, and you didn't see like the Kraft macaroni and cheese information on there. You only saw obviously this figure, and you saw the Disney Infinity logo. And off the bat, that was like a red alert, because like we didn't see 3.0 on there. So we're like, this could be a fake. And then finally, these images of zoomed out started showing up, and I'm like, oh boy, that has a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese information. And then finally, yeah, people going to stores and buying them, and sure enough, it's definitely legit.
Yeah.
We find out about Dory. I mean, obviously we got a little hint during Next, but we got a confirmation thanks to a box of cheap pasta.
It is quite bizarre, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of a whole Finding Dory box with a Find the Difference. I think there's a poster in the multi pack and stuff you can get at Walmart. Just a very, very odd reveal. It's. I mean, we've been kind of expecting it. Of course, this has opened up a whole floodgate of questions about Finding Dory, about fish, because fish don't walk, fish don't tend to have hands. Fish, how are the fish going to jump around inside of the toy box? How are they going to do stuff? A lot of people are like, well, are they going to fly because they're fish? Because it's kind of an odd one, because on one hand,
roll around in bags, just like at the end of the first movie.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, I mean, some people are like, well, are they going to be like the Cars vehicles where, they're characters, but they're restricted to going into certain things? And that's how I think this is going to be. I think we're just going to have a new category of animal, because, and it's that kind of thing. The toy box is supposed to be a toy. You can have a fish and whizzing around in the air, and you can jump it on there. It doesn't have to have rules and stuff. That's the whole point of the toy box. And I think maybe more so with like adult sort of gamers are like, no, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't. Why can you have a fish in there? It's like, well, you've got Darth Vader riding a pony. Sense doesn't really much out of the toy box. You can have Lightning McQueen with Mr. Incredible sat on top. It doesn't really matter. So it's just, I know it's odd.
I was going to say, it's about time, though, because it's about time we have a new category of characters. I mean, we had Cars, and they stood alone for a while, and people were saying they're kind of worthless. But, like, honestly, they're not. I mean, they're their own type of character. And so, obviously, if we have something like fish, it's going to open up a new category. And then a lot of people don't realize that this also opens up the window for quadrupeds, Yeah. This will then lead to another category that we haven't had. Play sets are supposed to play differently. Once they're in the toy box, they'll play however they can play. But ultimately, fish are not fish in the toy box. They're toys. They're toys, and whether they move around in bags, whether they move around kind of like the Splash Mountain or the cruise ship where they have little streaks of water under them, whether they can hold weapons or not. Point is, they're toys, and I'm happy to see them come into the game.
Yeah, and who doesn't want Dory with full on rocket missiles on the side of her? That would be the best way of handling.
Awesome. I would be so happy.
But like this, I think that was the thing. Is like, I mean, we were talking during the week was, the concept that this will open up the four-legged characters if they make that break and go, well, actually, no, we are bringing in different kinds of characters. That, they can't grab on a ledge because they can't. But who says they can't? Swimming doesn't kind of become like Loki's hovering. They just move around and do whatever they want because that's what they would do in a toy box anyway. I'm thinking like, well, why do they don't have to stay on the ground? The whole box is water. It just doesn't.
I mean, people need to think back at watching Toy Story, because this game was inspired by the way Andy plays with his toys in Toy Story. Do you guys remember the shark in the toy box where he was wearing Woody's hat? I mean, he didn't have any water. He was just right there. He's a toy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly how these are supposed to play in the toy box, and people need to accept that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been the one thing that I think a lot of people have been talking about. I'm like, well, it doesn't make any sense. It can't happen. They have to be. How do they go over ledges when we don't want to hold? Like, well, actually, I'm quite happy to have characters that are different. You're going to start having toy boxes created specifically for these kind of characters, and have a different category. They don't everything has. Let's do something different, and I applaud Disney for doing something very different, and I think this is a great idea.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, after, we had on the 1.0, we had playsets who played differently. Like the Lone Ranger had a train that ran through it. Pirates had these big ships that you can fight in the water. Then the past few playsets have been kind of similar, so we need some new gameplay. And then obviously Inside Out introduced that. And obviously Marvel Battlegrounds is introducing that. So obviously swimming in water, that sounds awesome. So I'm happy for it.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, it's like kind of thinking of like, how many figures are we going to get? How many characters? Which leads on to, it's kind of in that same thing. The recent patch to Disney Infinity that came this week opened up the new Hall of Heroes area on the Disney side, which looks like it can hold like 12 to 13 different characters, blue statues in there, and the rest of it's completely empty. So if we take away the free Alice in Wonderland ones, I'm thinking, good 5-6 characters. I'm just trying to think, you're obviously going to have Nemo, you're going to have Dory, probably maybe Crush, maybe Hank the octopus with only 7 legs. It definitely is a Finding Dory play set. So it depends on what, they might even have that beluga whale or something in there. It's hard to know exactly how that's going to work.
Well, I was doing the math myself, and I don't know if that new expansion to the Hall of Heroes is going to be enough. I don't know if they're going to have 2 little small ones attached to it. I don't know if they're going to add another room, because if you do the math and you, with the Alice characters and Baloo, and then obviously Peter Pan, and then Dory, you have to be thinking that Moana and Maui will come. You just got to think about those things. So it's like it only leaves like 2 or 3 left for an additional Disney animation playset, which makes no sense. So I don't know. It's interesting, but ultimately going back to the patch, yeah, it's a great addition. I mean, I like the Hall of Heroes, the way it's looking. I love that it keeps expanding. I know certain consoles were getting a glitch where they can see what some of the statues look like. So, we got a little taste of what Alice and Mad Hatter look like statue-wise. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what the figure will look like, but close enough. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I definitely am excited for all these new things to come.
On that thing about the Hall of Heroes, I am hoping whatever the next version of the game is, they redesign the whole thing and start making it a little bit more uniformed because running around between these different zones and stuff, it feels very disconnected. When I was in there the other day looking around and going, what's with all these rooms? It's like, we can we not have one big one where everything's all in one without having to run it? It just seems like a massive kind of, you're almost like, right, we built that and we're going to keep adding to it. And it's like that first building was so big and like tall. It's like, well, why don't they go around it or keep adding another floor or something rather than just keep spreading out?
I was kind of having a similar thought myself, except instead of doing something like that, I would like them to do what they're doing exactly as the Hall of Heroes, the Disney side is, except those expansion rooms where they have 2 and 3, those should be Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go into 3 different rooms, let alone 3 different sections for the Disney side. I mean, obviously Marvel, they were able to put everything in the same room, which is cool. But like I want to be able to get to everything at one move. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I
plus
definitely.
some of these sections look weird with the discs, like the lack of disc on certain ones. So.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see one cohesive unit for all of them. But aside from that, I think with the Finding Dory set, the movie's out in June in the US, July in UK, Europe. So I'm thinking this play set maybe day release of the movie, possibly, or a few weeks before.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. It would make sense. It would correlate with this possible next update. They might just have next announce it maybe a day before the Alice in Wonderland figures come out. I don't know. It might be the same formula here, but ultimately, yeah. I mean, it sounds about right. You know, but then it makes you think how much longer before the Disney animation one comes out. Because we know Star Wars is going to be till the end of the year again. It's probably going to be all secretive, just like The Force Awakens was. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
And, you know, I would think a June release would be quite good because then you've had March, June, maybe September, then December might be a good way of spreading them out 3 months apart, since it's been about 3 months since Force Awakens. If that's going to be the way they go this year, that sounds about right. And then you can slide in toy box characters in between.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I agree there. The only thing that kind of leaves me in wondering is, like, could Moana really be the next playset for Disney animation? Because the only reason why I say that is, like, Moana's out in November. Then we have this, like, back-to-back playsets, like, a month apart. Yeah. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
It's going to be a long wait between June and November if that's the case.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they do this. And again, I think this leads back to sort of leak conversation number 1. Okay, so they've put it on a box of mac and cheese. It's gone out to retailers. It's gone out everywhere.
Delicious, by the way.
I'm going to be honest. Never had a thing of mac and cheese in my life because they don't sell it here.
I'm just playing.
And it doesn't really look that tasty.
It's just cheese and pasta. That's all it is.
It's that kind of thing. If like they had Disney Infinity Next 2 weeks ago, right? And literally after that, the minute that show ended, I said, and I've been saying, was they missed an opportunity, but also they've just opened the door for the same problems as just happened with Marvel to happen again. And within a week, we had the same thing happen again. And they were just a bit like, oh, and I think, and I know there's a little bit, there's that kind of thing of, you got some people that go, oh, poor Disney, they haven't had, they've been working so hard. It's like, it is, but it's like, this is year four of Disney Infinity, and the same things keep happening, which, and I've been saying, it's like, it almost feels like Disney get two crunches of the pie. They get the leak, which gets out onto all the fan sites and all the hardcore fans know about it, and then they do the official leak, official information later on to go out to everybody else. Because if you've put it onto a box of product to put out towards the stores across the country, that information should have been out. It's like, unless that was less, that kind of thing of, well, mac and cheese are getting this exclusive. It's like, it just. My tolerance or my sort of acceptance of being, well, it's just a mistake. It's like, there's just been too many to keep kind of thinking this is not being done. I don't necessarily think it's being done on purpose, but I maybe just don't think.
I think so. I think it's deliberate. I'm starting to think this is deliberate. Like, seriously. I mean, you have a big multi-billion-dollar company. I don't think they'd be continuously making mistakes like this. I think this is deliberate. I think this is exactly like the vision being shown on the CNET article. I mean, I remember asking PR, like, is that a leak? Everything's cool. Like, I don't know. They literally just said, I don't know. Is it? So it's like, I feel like they're deliberately doing stuff now. So I think they just gave us a little taste at the end of Next for Finding Dory, and then they literally gave us a taste with mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're literally doing this on purpose. The only thing that I don't think may have been deliberate is the patch. But somehow it's going to happen either way. So, point is, it's there, it's happening. I think it's still deliberate.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's this kind of thing of, like I said before, to me, I'm looking at it purely from the idea of, if you want to get that information out there, they release the official press release, or they have released a press video, and it goes out to everyone, right? And everyone gets it. But with the leaks, all the hardcore fans all know about it a little bit before, get a little bit excited, get the buzz going. We're all talking about it. We're all getting buzzed up. We're all getting excited. Whereas if we all just only got the press release and then that was the end of it, and that would be it, and therefore they're not getting multiple things. It's like, oh, we just got a little picture of Alice. Oh, we got another picture of Alice. Oh, we've got a thing of this, and then we get a retailer that, you know, we're getting like 4 or 5 pushes of news. Whereas if they only put out the press release, like, you know, to be honest, I would have said, like, you know, Finding Dory and Alice should have been revealed during the last next. If they wanted to get ahead of the leaks, they would have happened then. Then that's the way I look at it. Trying to hold back information means that stuff's going to get out. It's just impossible for it not to get out when you got other people involved.
But that's the thing, though. For the fact that they said deliberately, we'll show you guys about our favorite fish and a look into the hourglass. They're already telling you what these are.
Yeah,
they're telling you. So I think that is their way of, like, if it leaks, well, we kind of told you already.
Yeah,
that's their way of covering it. And again, I feel like it's deliberate now. I feel like from now on, every next, we're gonna get a taste of what's to come. Like we might be told what the next Marvel characters are going to be. You know what I mean? Like something similar like that, or even the Disney animation side. But I don't think these are mistakes anymore. If anything, I think they're a little deliberate.
And if they're not deliberate, then this is the kind of thing of going, whatever's going on, guys. It's like I said. I think when we're into, like, for me, I'm starting to feel like this is the 4th year of Disney Infinity. Therefore, it's like you're sort of sitting there going, well, I'm sorry, but it keeps happening. We can't keep our eyes closed and go, oh my god, it's a spoiler. We can't, because I know some people are like, well, we should just wait for Disney. It's like, well, life doesn't work like that with the internet. It spreads. I mean, I woke up 2 mornings this week, and my phone was literally, I had hundreds of messages and notifications and stuff. Literally, I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh, and then I woke up the next morning, and the same thing happened again. I'm just like, what the?
Well, that was the Kylo Ren.
I can't. Yeah, but that was the 3rd morning. That was literally 3 mornings in a row. It was just like massive Infinity news, and just like,
well,
yeah, it's just odd.
It's been crazy, but just to continue on the news here. First off, if those who have not seen the article on our site or want to see a close look, these packages of mac and cheese are, I believe, exclusive to Walmart. They come in a 5-pack, so don't look for the single pack. Look for the 5-pack, and it's shrink wrapped. And included inside is not only this image of Finding Dory, but there's also a little collectible poster, and they give you a code for one of the old 1.0 Nemo discs. And it's a generic code, so like the same code works for everybody. You can use it over and over again. But that's that. Now I wanted to ask you.
I want to just add one thing on that, Matt.
Go ahead.
Why didn't they put the real disc in? Why? I'm just like.
Why didn't they?
It was just like, well, why didn't you put the real disc in?
Because it's cheaper to give a code away.
I know, but it's like, well,
it's a marketing thing.
I mean, we're going to talk about the PC version anyway of not being.
It's like you're asking them to open up the box of macaroni and cheese and there's a figure. No, it doesn't work that way.
I'm going back to when I was a kid, when you used to have stuff with cereal. But
our kids don't get that anymore. They just get a sticker.
Yeah, it's just like, why not put the disc in? Like someone opens it and goes, "Oh, what's this?" So, oh, you got a web code. Well, a web code isn't exciting. A web code doesn't mean anything.
That's how it works nowadays.
It's just like it's like you say, it's like the cheapest thing possible to put in. Like, oh, a 1.0.
Not just that though, Roger, because you and I grew up in the era where we open up and we found a little toy or a surprise. That was great. Kids nowadays are like on their freaking phones all the time on their tablets, like, oh, it's a code, yay! It's different, a completely different era. So, but anyways, what I was getting into, I wanted to ask you about because of the patch. Let's go over the patch real quick. So obviously, we have both I'm sorry, we have all three: Alice, Mad Hatter, and Time. Little townspeople that they're locked up. We can't have them until the figures come out. Then we also had the portraits, which are also locked up that we can't have. And then we had the boss. There was a boss logic toy.
Yeah, that was good.
That let us see Time in action. Now, I wanted to ask you about Time. I believe you did a video too, playing with Time. What did you think about like his abilities and his specials and everything? And do you think we'll be able to use those as the character ourselves?
Well, I think that is the character. It's just slightly larger because the bosses are made a little bit bigger than. I think all the moves are going to be the same because it's the same with the other villains and stuff that are in there. I like the whole time thing where he jumps up and like he's in a time machine and things. I'm gonna be honest, it's that kind of really annoying thing of like when you're fighting where you're frozen and you're pressing the button and it's gonna be annoying to play or play against because he's just gonna be freezing you the whole time and so you can't do anything. So I think it's gonna be very annoying. I thought the figure looked very good. Kind of, it's always difficult when you don't know these characters too well.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was a definite surprise, and I think definitely getting him in the boss battle. This is what they need to do. This is they should be doing this more often with adding stuff to these to kind of open them up. But
no,
yeah, carry on.
I was just saying. Now a lot of people keep saying that. Oh, I'm so glad that they gave us classic Alice and then the modern Alice. Like, okay, a lot of people don't understand and don't get this, but this is completely modern Alice. This is all modern Alice, and the only reason why I say that is, if you look at that picture of what her statue looks like, her hair texture, her pose in the portrait, I mean, everything like that, that's the new Alice. I'm glad that they gave us the traditional dress that she wore in the first movie, not the second movie. The second movie looks horrible. But it gives you that nod to the classic. But my question to you is, are you glad that they stuck that route?
I know.
Okay, wait. Before you answer this, don't tell me what you think of the character. I'm just saying, are you happy that they went this route? That's all, because I already know what you think of this character.
This is kind of figure of it makes total sense. You know, if you're going to put Alice out there, you need her in a blue outfit. That's the one everyone remembers. The thing is, a human in Disney Infinity generally doesn't look like the actress or actor. None of them really look too much like them. So therefore, they're caricature. So therefore, the person that plays it live in the movie, when they turn her into Disney Infinity, she's going to become more animated anyway. So therefore, making it look a little bit like the classic one and kind of merging the two is a lot easier. It makes sense. Like you said, she can't have her in a Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It wouldn't sell because it's not Alice, because people don't associate that with Alice. It looks fine. To be honest, for me, I think that was the best way they could do Alice. Mad Hatter was so different because with Alice, she was in the blue dress like she was in the original animated movie. Mad Hatter is so different to the animated movie. It's a lot. They can't do it. It's either they have to go one way or the other. They have to do either the Willy Wonka with wild hair or they have to do the Mad Hatter from the movie. It's like, yeah, I must admit, I think it was in the Hall of Heroes picture I saw of him. It was just like, he just looks like Willy Wonka. It's like
that's exactly what I said.
We can have some Oompa Loompa townspeople. I'm going to be honest, and I said this too. I've only seen the Alice in Wonderland, the live action movie once. I can't even remember it. That's how memorable it was for me. I've seen the classic movie a few times, and as I said to you, Alice in Wonderland is not about Alice. Alice is the most boring character in a Disney movie because she doesn't do anything. She just bumbles along and meets exciting people. She meets people along the way, and that's what makes up the story. She's not, I'm not excited about an Alice character. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't appeal. Mad Hatter, on the other hand, is the character that I want. That is the thing. I'm happy that Alice and classic fans are getting something, but this is a character I could just, whatever. Doesn't really mean a lot to me, but Time is the only one that really caught me out because that feels like sort of villain playset territory, and not having him and not having a playset maybe is what is a little bit like worrying for having a villain without anything like that. But yeah, no, I'm happy for. I think a good bit of Disney figures is good, but I wouldn't say I'm excited. And again, playset only. Oh, sorry, toy box only is just like, yeah.
Mhm.
I need more than just toy box only in this year now. I'm going to be honest. The toy box is great, but I need new experiences. That's why I'm looking forward to these play sets, because I want something different. I'm not looking to go do the same play set, same toy box again. And just being honest with it, and this is where, we need some new stuff coming in, and toy box only characters. Put some toys in. If you're going to do that, we need some content to make it worthwhile.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely agree. I guess the only thing that I'm not too happy about is like no Cheshire Cat. That's what I wanted. I mean, we still don't have a dog or a cat as an Infinity character yet, and I would like one or the other. I don't count Black Panther because he's not really a cat. But
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, yeah, Cheshire Cat would have been cool.
I think until they fix that the four-legged animal situation and get that, I think he'll come. I've got no doubt about that. He'll come later, but until they get that category for four-legged characters, we can't see too much going on.
Agreed. All right, cool. Yeah, that's it for that part. I guess.
Patch. A bit of an odd patch, because we'd like to say you saw the townspeople, you saw the portraits, some people are seeing the whole of it. I don't understand. And again, it's that thing of there was so much information in that update. It's like, why not just put them in the Hall of Heroes and just be done with it if they were going to do that, or were they not expecting to put? Were they supposed to be unleaked? It's very questionable of what was going on with that one.
I feel like they didn't even finish it completely. Like, for example, Baloo is not even in the collection section, nor can you see a video of him. So, I mean, I think that's something that they kind of maybe, I think it went up before than it should have, because I think that was the PR issue. But I don't know. Maybe I expect a mini update soon, because I know it kind of glitched a lot of things in the toy box. It glitched one of the power discs in the Hall of Superheroes and Hall of Galactic Heroes. I mean, there's a little mess going on, but still, whatever. I'm
definitely thinking we're probably going to see an Alice and Finding Dory Power Disc pack as well. That will come in as well, because there's a lot of space for power discs in that Hall of Heroes as well.
Hey Roger, do you know that the light effects figure for Kylo Ren is coming?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. And a photographer told us that one.
Again, this is just another one of them kind of. It's just like, we got the update back in November with the little, or in December with the little thing underneath, and then going, no, that's a glitch. No, really? Okay. Oh, it's not coming. And then we've had a half a dozen retailers show it. Game put it up on the new thing, and then a photographer put it up have his pictures with the figure, in the snow to type it. StarWars.com then put the picture up on their Instagram, and then Disney Infinity put it up, and then it's like, pre-orders open on the 15th in the US. Doesn't look like it's going to be exclusive to any retailer in the US either, to be coming out. Was it the 5th of April in the US, 8th of April over here in the UK? Light effects mass. Oh, carry on.
I was gonna say, I don't think there was even a release date here. They gave us 3 different bits of information.
Yeah.
They said coming soon on the Infinity Twitter. They said pre-order on the 15th on the Infinity Instagram. The photographer's Instagram said coming this month, and Marvel also said something along the lines of coming in the next few months, type of thing. So it's like, what? Huh? Are you guys talking about the same figure?
It's light effects figures, but it's such a mess since they announced it. It's just like, who's getting it, what's getting it, when they're coming out. If it's coming, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised. I say it. I don't think it's going to get out by the 15th, because if it was, all the stores would already have it and people would be leaking it and having it in their hands. So don't think it's out, because that's already happened to everything. Though Baloo, I don't think Baloo's out in the wild. I've not seen a Baloo in the wild.
No, we have not seen a Baloo in the wild at all. I think he's being held back. Well, actually, more than Ant-Man is being held back. Ant-Man was supposed to be held back to the 15th for sure.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen one at all.
No, so I don't know. Maybe this is maybe Kylo Ren's in with the shipment with the Blues, with a big.
I was gonna say with the Boba Fett's, because we barely got info about them. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm thinking like this Tuesday in the US is a massive release date. You've got a Marvel playset, Marvel Power Discs. You've got 3 Marvel figures. You've got Boba Fett. You've got Baloo. You've also got some kind of thing going on with Kylo Ren. So it's just been just a mess of information. I mean, Disney have been usually so good at getting information out there, but yeah, these variant figures have just been a mess since they announced it back at D23. They've just, because I think a lot of people are upset because had they known this one was coming properly, officially, they wouldn't have brought it, because that was the thing of why Disney didn't want to tell everyone in December, was like, oh yeah, there is a better figure coming, so don't buy this one now. It was like, oh no, buy the one now and then you can buy the one later. That's the way we like it.
But Roger, it's Kylo Ren. We can get another figure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I do see Kylo Ren in the store, I will pick that one up. I'm a little bit. I've only got 2 of the light effects figures because I seen them. They look cool, but I don't want to spend £100 on figures I already own. Again, I think I think there's so many figures out. I've got boxes of figures just building up and building up.
That's that much, does it?
Well, if they're 10 to 15, I mean, Darth Vader and Kylo Ren are £15 each, so they're about $20 each at a game. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can even get online. One of the other one, it's like, and by the time I was going to be paying for shipping for some of them, they were going to be costing me 15, 16 quid unless I brought them from France and shipped them in. It's just like, and I'm thinking, I must admit, when I saw Yoda in my supermarket when I was doing my grocery shopping, I did relent and pick it up. But that was the thing. I think the price wise is like, I couldn't, to go out and buy 7 or 8 variant figures. I got stung with the crystal figures that I never used, and I think that was my thing for them.
Well, if I see you in July, I'll bring Kanan because I have an extra.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. I think there's a lot of people into it. I think it's lost in the shuffle. I do think releasing it in April is a better idea. I think it's going to tie in more with the release of the Blu-ray. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Oh, with Kylo, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, but very badly tied in with Kylo. It doesn't. It's like you could do a little bit more. It's like if you are going to tie it in with the Blu-ray, maybe kind of promote the 2 together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting on that one.
Yeah, I'm getting that Blu-ray. It's gonna be awesome.
I've got to. Unfortunately, it's another week for me over here. Right, so we're done. Okay, Princess and the Frog. We'll just do a quickly touch on this. The actress that plays Princess Tiana basically put out a tweet and an picture on Instagram saying she is working on a new video game voiceover. It depends which community you're in, depends on which game everyone thinks it's for, because the Infinity community goes, it's for Infinity. The Kingdom Hearts community goes, it's for Kingdom Hearts. The mobile community going, well, it's for a community, it's for a mobile game. Some people are like, it's for a 3DS game. It could be a brand new Princess and the Frog game. Right. So it was very vague. Doesn't necessarily mean it's coming to Disney Infinity. I was good. Yeah, carry on.
I was gonna say, kind of reminds me of the whole thing with what's her name, the girl from Kim Possible, Chrissy Milano or whatever. Yeah. She had the similar type of post where she's like, "Oh yeah, Kim Possible has a new game," type of thing, and it's like we didn't know what it was. People assumed it was Infinity because she was talking about meeting with JV and all that stuff. So again, we don't know what this is for. I mean, could it be Disney Infinity? It's possible. Because obviously, we need more female power in the game, and obviously, it's one of the princesses, so it's like a no-brainer. But again, we don't know. It could be for Kingdom Hearts 3. It could be for they have these other magical world games that they have, Disney's Kingdoms or all that stuff. So it's like a lot of things going on. So yeah, it's cool though. For her to be part of Infinity would be awesome. So.
Yeah, and I also remember we had this with the woman that plays Mulan as well. She kind of did it, but I think she did specifically say Disney Infinity.
She did say Disney Infinity. Yeah, she said Disney Infinity.
If she comes, great. I think it'd be good. I think they could do with some more stronger females. But then again, is this a 4.0 or a next or whatever they're going to call it next? It doesn't necessarily mean it's coming this year. She's doing the voiceover now. We don't know how long the transition is. I mean, there might be a figure out in November, December. We just don't know when it's going to come. If she is doing it now, there was talk about doing some other games as well, of which I was like, well, those games are like really, really close, because I mean, got so many Disney, but there again, you know, Disney Interactive could be there having a film multiple video games at once. You just don't know what she's doing. So definitely putting that in the rumor. If she does turn up, it would not surprise me in the absolute slightest.
No, absolutely not. No, it would be cool. I would be really happy with that decision. Although I'm still waiting on. Didn't Cinderella already come out? I'm surprised we haven't had her as a figure yet. So.
Yeah, unless we're getting that princess playset at some point.
Yes, that's the only reason why I got 1.0. Oh yeah. I got 1.0, man. One day having that princess playset. Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, in some other news, PC. This one's been a bit of again another messy kind of thing. There's been things going around on Twitter of of the PC version not getting updates for Marvel Battlegrounds. So the Marvel Battlegrounds won't be a playable playset on the PC. With a note from Disney saying, we are currently not available. We're looking into this later. And JV sort of putting out a message saying that they're currently looking at their plans and stuff. And it was a bit like, oh, what's going on?
Actually, I have more interesting news. This is from the official forum on the Disney Infinity website.
Yeah.
I forget who commented this, but this was said, quote unquote, Marvel Battlegrounds is an arcade-style brawler designed for multiplayer experience, which is being released exclusively on gaming console systems. We are continuing to evaluate which Disney Infinity content will be a good fit for each specific gaming platform. So it's completely clear that Battlegrounds is definitely not coming to the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the characters will be playable in the PC, like as Toy Box, we don't know yet because we have not heard of any update yet. So even the Zootopia characters aren't playable in the PC right now, which is, again, a little confusing for some people. However, Battlegrounds for sure is not coming to PC.
Mm-hmm.
iOS, Apple TV, no confirmation yet, but I do know that the Zootopia characters do work on iOS.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's like you said, communication would be awesome. But I guess maybe they're just waiting until the 15th to tell everybody. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's being buried. I think it's being whatever's going on with these. The trouble is, and I've been saying this for years, was this multi-platform approach is hurting the game. You know, making games for different platforms and stuff. Every time it might work on the PlayStation, but it doesn't work on the Wii, or there's a glitch on one because it doesn't work on the other. Trying to do this cross-platform thing isn't working. Now, this thing about saying it's exclusive to consoles. Well, if you spent hundreds of dollars on your game on the PC because you brought all the characters, you're going to be pissed off. If you, in the same way that when the PC and iOS versions got the Tron figures early, the console players were like, "Whoa, hold on a minute." You know, there's this kind of thing of exclusive to different projects and stuff. It doesn't work with the game. The community does not like it. It either wants all of it or wants none of it. If the iOS has a different device, it has a different product, you know, the playsets aren't on it, and people moan about that, but they can't do it. The thing is with the PC version is it doesn't sound like the PC version. It sounds like, you know, it's like you're halfway through the game cycle and you basically just turn around and go, "Oh no, it's not working the way we want it, so we're not bothering with it anymore." It's like we've been planning this 3.0 for a long time. Maybe it's not making as much money as they want. Well, PC gaming is huge, but maybe PC gaming for this version, maybe just put the iOS version on it instead of trying to do the whole thing. I think they need a clearer picture of what they want to do. Of maybe make a different version, or make some kind of variation, or you know, because it's not working the way they're doing it.
The PC version has never really even worked for me ever, like since 1.0. It's just, I don't know what it is, whether my computer's not up to their specifications, or maybe I need to call Avalanche and make sure that I meet their qualifications as far as computers go, but it just never seemed to work out for me. So even when I tried out the 2.0 when they were doing the launch event for that, it seemed to run slow on their computers as well. So it's kind of weird.
Well, I think, I mean, my laptop, I've tried it with the games, and they do not work. And that's the kind of thing, if you need to keep, you know, you need these massive PCs and you got to spend a lot of money on hardware to do it. PC gaming is huge, and the whole digital thing there. But I think that's the big problem with Infinity is the fact they want you to go buy the physical product. And these web code things are great for the iOS versions and PC things, but it and it's like people say, oh, the iOS version is the most used version. It's the most used version because it's a free game. It doesn't. It's how much money does it bring in? If iOS brings in more money because people are buying the $1, $2 figures, that works. But then you need to make that a specific thing. This PC thing, I know there's a lot of people out there that like building on the PC because if they have got a big power PC, but what's going on if they're not, and I feel a little bit like I actually feel bad for if they literally turned around to us now and they said to like Wii U owners, right, oh, by the way, Battlegrounds isn't out on this, and oh, this figure isn't going to be available, there would be a much bigger uproar than because you'd be, well, you can't leave us halfway. It's like either drop it and like 1.0 and 2.0. Dropping it halfway through a cycle sounds very bad.
Well, then again, nobody knew they were going to continue the cycle. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we all just found that out.
Well, they knew what they were doing a year or two ago. What I mean is, if they said,
I was gonna say, but things change like through the course, is what I'm saying, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can easily continue making something. Games get canceled like weeks before launch. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. But as far as us, the generic public, we can't really complain too much because we didn't know. Like, what if they announced 4.0? And by the way, 4.0 won't be PC compatible. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't know that. So
no, but I think it, in some ways, if they turn around to like Infinity 4 isn't on PC and it's not on Wii U or whatever, there would be that kind of thing. We know it's not on it. It's just kind of, well, you've got half of it, but you can't have the other half. Is either or you have to be in or out. You can't kind of go along and, oh, by the way, you're not getting all this content. It just sounds very messy.
It's like you said, communication is important.
Yeah, and also if they get this whole thing about it's like this thing about PC kind of being, well, we're not, well, what, you're not going to get all 4 play sets this year? Are you not going to get any of the characters? Are they just literally just dumping the project because they don't want to carry on with it this year? Is it too expensive and they're not bringing the money back in?
We don't know yet.
It's very odd. We just don't know. It's but if this was a console player and this had happened to the PlayStation and they said, oh, by the way, well, we got this new playset coming out on Tuesday, but by the way, you Xbox people can't have it, there would be uproar. But PC ones like, oh yeah, by the way, you're not getting it next week, because I bet a lot of PC owners were expecting to be able to buy it next week.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't just because we're not PC people, it's very easy to go, well, it doesn't really matter. But there's a lot of people out there that would have been, they're probably really, if that was what this is, if that's how they play Infinity daily or weekly, and suddenly, oh, by the way, next week's stuff isn't, you can't play it. That's gonna be a nasty taste, especially if you spent, like I said, money on all those figures and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a tough blow, definitely, for the PC gamers out there.
Yeah. But it's like I said, if it's not, I think, it's like the thing with the PC version. Maybe it should have been, maybe the iOS version should have been the same on the PC. Maybe they should just make one, the free digital version should be a different game in terms of how it's built than the playset stuff. I know on Steam, when you look on Disney Infinity, it doesn't really explain what you're buying properly in terms of, it just looks a very, very, I know the comments on the Steam section are very negative because it's like, this game is so expensive. This is and this is a really bad, and they were talking about how it's a bad free to play model, and it's very expensive, because we used to it in the console version, we're slightly taken away from it, but in the PC world, you're looking at going, it's a very expensive kind of add-on. I know I tried playing and it was like, well, you need to buy this, you need to buy that, it's very flashy, and it's an expensive game. For us as a web version, we've got all the codes and stuff, it's different.
But for those, I guess for those who aren't clear as to what to purchase and what's going to come, I think it's important that we recap what's coming on the 15th.
Yes, that was my closing thing.
I was going to say, first off, apologies to the PC community, but here we go. On Tuesday, Marvel Battlegrounds comes out. And that one includes Captain America, the first Avenger version, not the older 2.0 version, and the playset piece. We also have Black Panther, which is my personal favorite, Ant-Man, is that the one you like the most, I think?
Yeah. He's a good.
Ant-Man. And then Vision. Those will be the Marvel characters. Not to mention there's also a Marvel Power Disc pack that includes...
Black Suit Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was going to leave that in at the very end. I was bunching him in with the Boba and the others. But anyways, so Black Suit Spider as well. He's going to be on his own, in his own packaging, not in the Vito pack. So, but anyways, there's the Power Disc pack that comes with 4 Power Discs, and they are Darkhawk, which I assume is a team-up disc. I only know it as a Tesseract. Everybody calls it the blue cube of something.
Cosmic Cube.
Cosmic Cube. Yeah, and that I'm assuming is an event disc, and the Nova Corps assistant also probably an event disc, and then the cool Ghost Rider motorcycle, which is a toy box only toy, which seems to be already unlocked on everybody's Hall of Heroes. So if you want to look at it, go in and check it out. And now, including with the 15th release, we also have Boba Fett, which finally, long awaiting for me. And then Baloo, which is really awesome. Baloo looks like he's going to be a really cool character to play with. And whether Kylo Ren will be there or not, who knows? Maybe you can pre-order him. Maybe you can just see coming soon signs everywhere. I don't know. But that's coming all on Tuesday.
Except if you're not in the US, at which point...
Yeah, these are the US people.
Yes. In the UK, all the Avengers stuff, all the Marvel stuff is out on the 25th. Baloo is out on the 8th of April, and Boba Fett is already out. He was out last month. So, and I think in other regions as well, dates are all over the place. Definitely worth checking your local retailer wherever you are, because dates are a little bit messy.
Well, there's Zootopia figures available already out there.
Zootopia figures are out. They came out last week. Though I didn't see them in the store last night when I was looking around, but they have been spotted in
last
other
week.
stores.
But the movie's not out yet.
Movie's not out over here for another 2 weeks. The trouble is they're going right against Batman versus Superman, so I've got a real tough pick that week.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been. I kind of wished in some ways that they maybe spread Baloo out to like here in the UK, for example. I actually think the way they've done it is better, where Baloo is like 2 weeks after or a week after Marvel. I think he would have been better suited to come out maybe closer to the Jungle Book movie coming out. I still don't get why we didn't get a Jungle Book disc, a Power Disc pack with something in there. Okay.
Well, the only reason why we're getting Baloo alongside the Marvel characters, and a lot of people don't know this, but there's an extended Captain America Civil War trailer out there, and Baloo is actually on Iron Man's team. So just watch out. Boba Fett's actually on Captain America's team. Okay. That's why he's also coming out on the 15th. We don't know what team Kylo Ren's on.
So. Well, we're going to be doing an episode of the podcast this week. We're going to be talking about the Civil War trailer, all of that. It's definitely going to be
party on. What was that say?
Yeah, no. That's too much time as a kid pretending to be Spider-Man in my Spider-Man costume. It's definitely a kind of thing. I think it's one of the really weird things of this Marvel Battlegrounds stuff, because so many people have got it. I don't know what the hell's been going on with the
We've had it for a while.
It's just like everyone's just, I'll play this and do that. They're going, what's it going? It's like the street day on this game has been her. I mean, I do think doing the patch on Thursday was a good idea to get the patch out a few days later. But man, have been people, because I was expecting the patch to be like Monday, Tuesday. So people have been playing it all weekend and like, oh, it's great, and or it's a bit short, or it's a bit different, or it's like, and I'm just like, we're sitting there going, everyone's got it.
We're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, just waiting.
It's like, right, that's it. It's definitely going to be interesting. Next week's show, we will be going full-blown Marvel Battlegrounds discussion in terms of thoughts on the play sets and stuff. We haven't played yet, so we couldn't do that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting week.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you.
we're just literally just wondering when which retailer is going to break the images of the other figures. I'm guessing in the next 2 weeks. It ain't going to be long. It's just almost like, whoa, who's going to do it this time? It's like, which country and which retailer? We need
whatever date that Disney Interactive decides to do their Twitch webcast, whatever day that is, the following day we will see Alice in Wonderland figures leaked. That's my guess.
I think they were discussing they might be doing. I think they're doing a Twitch thing after Battlegrounds is released. I think they were doing something along with the release of that.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely going to be
whatever date that is. Yeah.
Some information stuff coming on. But like I said, a very action-packed news week for this one. Next week's will be all about Marvel Battlegrounds. But anything else we want to add on Infinity? I'm just going through my list of things.
I'm just going to say that this week, just stay tuned for some unboxing and some gameplay videos of Battlegrounds. Yes. And I'll also be doing a collab with CoinOp TV, so check that out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And other than that, yeah, that's it, man. Everybody have fun with Battlegrounds. And for those who have had it forever, I don't know, have fun in the toy box.
I've got this long list like, all right, do this. So yeah, there'll be lots of content coming out this week on the website, and also be sure to join out on the Infinity and Beyond Facebook group to join in all the discussion over there. And that's pretty much it. Thank you to Ethan over at sorterapps.com and magicbandcollectors.com for being patron, and also to our other patrons as well. Huge thank you for your support. It really does help trying to do bits and pieces for this site. And yeah, you can check us out on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook, and you can find us on DisKingdom.com, and that pretty much is going to wrap it up. Except for I got one thing I want to do. If you can dream it, you can leak it.
I was going to say, yeah, later, guys. I got to go get my mac and cheese. It's ready.
Hold on. I'm just waiting for the Twinkie release next week.
Oh, yeah, you like that, didn't you? Yeah, anyway, Twinkies, guys, we'll see the Alice in Wonderland figures.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you guys soon. Later.
Adios.